भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। ॐ स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरि ओम तत्सत् हरि ओम तत्सत् हरि ओम तत्सत्। So today onwards we start with Ashtavakra Gita, which is also known as Ashtavakra Samhita, and one of the great texts actually. And Gita really means the philosophy which is told with music and singing. गीता का अर्थ होता है गाकर बताया हुआ तत्वज्ञान. So that is why it is called Gita. And it has its own advantages because जो गीत होता है उसमें संगीत और छंद होता है, और वो छंद के कारण जो बताया गया है वो हमें याद करने में बहुत आसानी हो जाती है. Because it is in a meter form, so many things in Ashtavakra Gita you will remember if you are able to sing it or able to really chant it properly. You will remember so many things, and so many things are really worth remembering. So that is the Gita. And in our culture we have so many Gitas. About 17 types of Gitas are there in our culture. So we have, of course, the Bhagavad Gita, the most popular one. We have Vyadha Gita, we have Shiva Gita, we have Guru Gita, we have Avadhuta Gita. So 17 different types of Gitas. The most popular, of course, is Bhagavad Gita. Both Bhagavad Gita as well as Ashtavakra Gita, they are both from Mahabharata. भगवत गीता और अष्टावक्र गीता दोनों ही महाभारत से आए हुए हैं. While Bhagavad Gita is in Bhishma Parva of Mahabharata, Ashtavakra Gita is in Vana Parva of Mahabharata. भगवत गीता तो भीष्म पर्व में है और अष्टावक्र गीता वन पर्व में है. और अष्टावक्र गीता was told in वन पर्व by Maharshi Lomasa to Yudhishthira. युधिष्ठिर को महर्षि लोमासा ने यह अष्टावक्र गीता महाभारत के वन पर्व में बताई थी. भगवत गीता being most popular and we are most acquainted with it. Why it is more popular? Because it is a synthesis of yoga. As we all know, you can find Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Raja Yoga, Atma Sanyama Yoga, Vibhuti Yoga, and even the first chapter, Arjuna Vishada Yoga. तो भगवत गीता का जो तत्वज्ञान है वो सर्वसमावेशक है. all kinds of philosophical texts are included in Bhagavad Gita, which is a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, as we know. Ashtavakra Gita is what we call as Ajatavada. We are going to learn a little more about it, and it is extreme Advaita Vedanta, extreme Siddhanta, Ajatavada. That is what we are going to learn also. Uh, Let us learn a little about this Ashtavakra. Why it is called Ashtavakra Gita? Because it has been told by Ashtavakra to Janaka. So just as Bhagavad Gita is Krishna Arjuna Samvada, dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, Ashtavakra and Janaka, their dialogue is known as Ashtavakra Gita. You know, अष्टावक्र was born to mother सुजाता. अष्टावक्र की जो माँ थी उसका नाम सुजाता था और उसके पिता का नाम कहोर था. Kahor, and Kahor was a Vedic Pandit, and he was very austere Brahmin, and he used to chant Vedas every day. For so many hours they used to chant Vedas, and most of the Vedic text Ashtavakra learned when he was in the womb of the mother. माता के गर्भ में रहते हुए ही बहुत सारा वेद का ज्ञान अष्टावक्र ने सुना था अपने पिताजी के मुख से. Okay. But at times he would feel that father is making mistakes in the chanting of the Vedas. तो बीच बीच में ऐसा लगता था कि पिताजी जो वेद का घोष करते हैं उस वेद घोष में कुछ उच्चारण की गलतियां हैं, which is not allowed in Vedic chanting. You know, if you listen to Vedic chanting, you know, if the Brahmins are chanting the Vedas, even if you do not understand what they are saying, even if you do not understand the meaning of the mantras, it creates such an atmosphere that at once you will be very happy. Those vibrations are spiritual vibrations, they are the mantras. And at once your mind will be captivated and you will feel that, oh, this is something great. You will not be able to explain what is the greatness in it. You will not be able to explain why you have become so calm and quiet by listening to the mantras, because they are the powers of the mantras. And the Brahmins say that those mantras, if they are chanted correctly, then only those vibrations are created. अगर मंत्र का उच्चारण अच्छा हो, ठीक हो, वैज्ञानिक हो, तभी उन मंत्रों का प्रभाव होता है. So they don't allow any mistakes in the chanting of Vedic mantras. There were so many Vedic Pandits who used to keep a sword in front of them. तलवार रखते थे अपने सामने और बताते कि अगर थोड़ी सी भी चूक हुई मंत्रोच्चारण में तो मैं अपनी जीभ काट दूंगा. मैं I will cut off my tongue if I make even slightest mistake in chanting the Vedic mantras. So they were very austere. They were very, you have to be extremely perfect while chanting the mantras. And this is what Ashtavakra really, in the womb of the mother, he felt that the Vedic chanting, there is some little mistake here and there when his father is chanting the mantras. So one day, from the womb of the mother only, when his father was chanting the mantras, he said that, no, father, this is wrong chanting. Father, it is because of your grace only that I have learned Vedas. I am obliged to you. You are my guru. There is no doubt about it. But you make mistakes. I can't tolerate those mistakes. Now, when Ashtavakra's father Kahor When he listened to these words, now ordinary person would have been very happy that the boy who is in the womb of the mother is not only listening, this is very great thing that he is listening to it, he is understanding it, he is noting down the mistakes and he is pointing out my mistakes. Ordinary father would have been very happy. But that ego which was there in that Vedic Pandit Kahor made him very angry. He was hurt. अरे बच्चा अभी जन्म भी नहीं लिया है और अपनी बाप की गलतियां निकाल रहा है. He was really very angry and angrily उन्होंने शाप दे दिया उस बालक को कि तू जब जन्म लेगा तो अष्टावक्र होगा, 8 जगह में तेरा शरीर टेढ़ा मेढ़ा होगा. So that is why when Ashtavakra was born, he was very odd looking child. 8 जगह में उसकी गर्दन टेढ़ी थी, उसके मेरुदंड में 3 जगह में there were very odd bends in his spinal column. कमर टेढ़ी थी, पांव भी बहुत वक्र पांव थे. अष्टावक्र इसलिए उसको बताया गया. So very funny looking type of child was born to Mother Sujata. And but of course extremely learned, because in the womb of the mother only he had learned the Vedas. Now Ashtavakra's father Kahor, he went to Janaka's court, which was quite far away, because those times, because he was a great Pandit, a great philosopher, that time there would be symposiums in the court of the king, and they will be discussing वेरियस फिलोसॉफिकल टॉपिक्स, और वाद विवाद होते थे उस समय पंडितों में. एंड यू हैव टू रियली टेक पार्ट इन दोज. द बेस्ट पंडित विल बी अवार्डेड बाय जनक, who himself was a great philosopher. Janaka was extraordinary person, a very great philosopher, and he was a king. He was ruling his kingdom in most efficient way, but he would listen to the pandits, he will listen to the great philosophers with apt attention. He will ask also very sharp questions. Sometimes he will point out their mistakes. So he was a great king. And one of the philosophers in the king's court was Bandina. Bandina was regarded as a philosopher who could not be defeated by anybody. बंदीना ये ऐसा दार्शनिक था कि उसके सामने तो कोई टिकता ही नहीं था वाद विवाद में. सो कहोर, that is Ashtavakra's father, he challenged Bandin. And at that time, when the dialogue goes on, one who is defeated has to accept the other as the guru, and he has to obey whatever he says. So Kahor was squarely defeated by Bandin. बंदिन ने हरा दिया कहोर को, और इसलिए कहोर ने उसके पिता वरुण के पास बंदिन को भेजा, पौरोहित्य करने के लिए भेजा. नाउ at that time the Vedic Pandits, to do Paurohitya is a sort of low grade type of duty. वैदिक पंडित कभी पौरोहित्य का मतलब है भगवान की पूजा अर्चा करना, मंदिर को देखना और प्रसाद ग्रहण करना, मतलब मीन्स इट इज पुरोहित, a priest, a type of priesthood. Okay, but that was regarded as lower graded job for Vedic Pandits who were philosophers. So that lower grade job was offered to Kahor because he got defeated with Bandin, and he was sent to Varuna, that is Bandin's father, and he was continuing with his priesthood, and he was defeated person. Now when Ashtavakra grew as a 12-year-old child, अष्टावक्र जब उठ के पाठशाला में जाते थे, other children used to tease him because he was odd looking child, and they also used to tease him that where is your father? Father has gone forever. आपके पिता तो है कहाँ? And so he thought that he has to find out his father where he has gone. तो अष्टावक्र ने ऐसा सोचा। 12 साल का लड़का घर के बाहर निकल गया अपने माँ का आशीर्वाद लेके कि मैं पिता के खोज में जा रहा हूँ। एंड अष्टावक्र हैड ए मैटरनल अंकल who was also a very great philosopher, Shvetaketu. You find him in Chandogya Upanishad. Shvetaketu Aruni Samvad in Chandogya Upanishad is very famous. तो वो मामा लगते थे, ये अष्टावक्र के मामा लगते थे, श्वेतकेतु। So he went to his maternal uncle and both of them they proceeded towards Janaka's kingdom, because at that time also one conference was organized there, and so they thought that let us participate in that conference, philosophical conference. And so when they went there, when they reached that, यज्ञशाला थी और यज्ञ पहले होते थे और यज्ञ के बाद चर्चा, धर्म चर्चा होती थी। तो धर्म सभा थी वहां। तब जो जाने लगे धर्म सभा के अंदर, तो वहां जो सेंट्री थे उन्होंने उनको रोक लिया। द सेंट्रीज ऑफ द किंग जनका, they stopped them and they say that you can't enter now because the king is about to come and the king has to enter the first and then only you can enter. ये जो ब्राह्मीण लड़के थे श्वेतकेतु और अष्टावक्र, उनको रोक लिया गया, आप नहीं जा सकते। जैसा कोई मिनिस्टर आने से उसको अलाउ नहीं करते ना किसी को पहले, मिनिस्टर जब तक जाता नहीं कोई अलाउड नहीं होता, ऐसा ही उन्होंने भी रोक लिया। एंड एट दैट टाइम अष्टावक्र ही आर्ग्यूड, 12 years old boy, he is arguing with those sentries that धर्म सभा जब होती है, यज्ञशाला जो होती है, उनमें ब्राह्मणों का पहला हक होता है अंदर जाने का। Brahmins has a priority to enter into such places, sacred places, where philosophical discussion is going on, where sacrifices are going on. And why you are stopping us? We should be allowed first. And exactly at that time, King Janaka also came and he listened to this dialogue that this child is telling that Brahmin should be allowed first. And at once, Janaka said that, yes, he is right. And he said that, yes, you please enter first. Janaka was a very, if you read Janaka and his philosophy, it's a very wonderful king, great king really. So he said that, please come inside. And then after that yajna, after that sacrifice, when Dharmashala was there, when Dharma Sabha was there, when philosophical conference was there, the whole hall was full with brilliant scholars. And of course, Bandin was there as the main person. And Ashtavakra directly went on the stage for challenging Bandin. And he went on the stage and the whole audience obviously laughed. सारे जो, क्योंकि उसका देखना ही ऐसा था, 8 जगह में टेढ़ा मेढ़ा शरीर, very odd looking person, so anybody who would look at such a person will laugh. वो टेढ़ी मान करके, कमर में भी टेढ़ा है, पांव भी टेढ़े हैं। तो उसको देख के सारे लोग हंसे। सारे लोग हंसने के बाद अष्टावक्र बहुत जोर से हंसा। Ashtavakra, he laughed even louder. And Janaka, who was presiding over the conference, he said that, oh Ashtavakra, I can understand why others are laughing, but I can't understand why you are laughing. बाकी सब जो हंस रहे हैं वो समझ रहे हैं क्यों हंस रहे हैं, लेकिन आप क्यों हंस रहे हैं, मुझे बड़ा आश्चर्य हो रहा है, आप क्यों हंस रहे हैं। तो अष्टावक्र ने कहा, मैं इसलिए हंस रहा हूं कि चमारों के अंदर दर्शन चिकित्सा हो रही है। चमार, cobblers are discussing great philosophy. That is why I am laughing. Everybody was shocked that this 12 years old, odd looking child सबको चमार कह रहा है, cobblers कह रहा है. And then Janaka says that, why do you say like that? Then Ashtavakra says, O king, just as the shape of the temple does not affect the akasha, the sky, the crookedness of the physical body has no effect on Atman, the soul. A wise man has Atma Drishti. Ordinary man has Charma Drishti. What a beautiful. Here, Ashtavakra Gita actually starts with this kind of dialogue itself. कि मंदिर जैसा भी हो, मंदिर का आकार, मंदिर का नाम स्वरूप, यह अंदर के आकाश तो नहीं बदल देता. उसी प्रकार जो शरीर है वो कैसा भी हो, अंतरात्मा तो वैसे ही वैसी रहती है. अंतरात्मा तो बदलती नहीं है. द इनर आत्मन doesn't change with the physical being. How you look, whether you are beautiful looking, whether you are odd looking, whether you are stout, fat, or thin, the consciousness, the pure consciousness remains the same. And he says, when you look at the person, there are two types of person. One who is having Atma Drishti. They are looking at the person, they are looking at the Atman, they are looking at the consciousness. They are saying he is a Jiva, conscious being. Others have Charma Drishti. They are looking at the skin, they are looking at the outer looks. We are generally, we are fascinated by outer look. Oh, how tall, how beautiful are his eyes and how looks. So the first thing which we understand in personality is the physical being. हमको तो सबसे पहले शरीर ही दिखाई देता है और शारीरिक स्तर पर ही हम मनुष्य को जानना शुरू कर देते हैं. दिस इज कॉल्ड चर्म दृष्टि. You are interested in physical body, you are interested in the skin. He says that actually philosopher, actually wise man should have Atma Drishti. And these people who are looking at me and laughing, they have Charma Drishti. इसलिए मैंने उनको चमार कहा क्योंकि ये मेरी चमड़ी देख के हंस रहे हैं. चमार ही चमड़ी में इंटरेस्टेड होता है और ये सब दे लाफ्ड एट मी बट दे डोंट हैव आत्मदृष्टि. The sky doesn't change with the shape of the temple. That was the first thing which he had told. And then subsequently, of course, there was a dialogue between Bandin and Ashtavakra, and Ashtavakra completely defeated Bandin. जो सबसे सर्वमान्य दार्शनिक उस समय था बंदिन, जिसने कहोर को हराया था, श्वेतकेतु के पिता को हराया था, उसको पराभूत किया Ashtavakra ne. In philosophical dialogue, he was defeated, and when he was defeated, Ashtavakra told that release my father from his duties. मेरे पिता को मुक्त करो, और करना ही पड़ा. और जब पिता को मुक्त किया तो अब पिता को पूरा एहसास हो गया था कि मेरा पुत्र क्या है. एंड ही वाज रियली वेरी सॉरी दैट उसने इस प्रकार का शाप दे के उसको अष्टावक्र बनाया था. सो अनदर टेक्स्ट सेज दैट देन Kahor actually chanted some mantras and asked him to take bath in a river called Samang. समांग नाम की एक नदी थी. और फिर कहोर ने अष्टावक्र को बताया कि अब समांग नदी में आप डुबकी लगाओ. और ऐसा बताते थे कि वो डुबकी लगाने के बाद उसका जो टेढ़ा मेढ़ा शरीर था वो सीधा हो गया. ऐसी भी एक कथा है. दैट इज नॉट वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट बट दैट इज व्हाट इज. So that is the background of Ashtavakra Gita. And then, of course, Janaka called Ashtavakra in his court, and then he started asking him very sharp questions. And there was a great dialogue between King Janaka and Ashtavakra. Ashtavakra sitting on the throne of Janaka. जनका ने अपने सिंहासन पर अष्टावक्र को, ये 12 साल के लड़के को बैठाया और वो खुद नीचे बैठ गया और उससे सीखने लगा जो हमने दक्षिणामूर्ति स्तोत्र में सीखा था। चित्रम वटतरोर्मूले वृद्धा शिष्या गुरुर्युवा। गुरु तो यंग था, शिष्य वृद्ध था। गुरु यंग होके भी ज्ञान वृद्ध था। So that young boy, 12 years old, sitting on the throne, started talking to Janaka, and this is what is known as Ashtavakra Gita. Extraordinary philosophy which we are going to learn, and this is the philosophy for very high class students, you know, and those people who are prepared to give up all those concepts which they have in mind about sadhana, about yoga, and whatever philosophy. We should be prepared to keep aside our concepts about philosophy when we are listening to Ashtavakra. अष्टावक्र गीता सुनते समय हमारे अभी तक जो हमने पढ़ा हुआ है, अभी तक जिस प्रकार से तत्व ज्ञान हमने समझा हुआ है, थोड़ी देर के लिए बाजू रखना होगा. We have to keep it aside. Otherwise, we will not understand Ashtavakra, who is telling highest philosophy, Ajatavada. Not so simple to understand. So, if we are doing our sadhana, if we are worshipping gods, we have the concepts of Jiva, Jagata, Ishvara. ये ईश्वर है, भगवान है. अष्टावक्र ये कोई भी चीज नहीं मानते हैं असल में. He doesn't believe in Jiva, Jagata, Ishvara. He doesn't believe even in Mayavad. In Dakshinamurti Stotra, one of the things which Shankaracharya is stating again and again is Mayavada Siddhanta. He doesn't agree with Mayavada also of Shankaracharya. Extreme non-dual text we are going to learn. And only those who have purified their mind, only those who are quite open to any kind of philosophy, any new thought, they will be able to appreciate and understand Ashtavakra Gita. Otherwise, there is every likelihood of spiritual indigestion. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि आप अष्टावक्र सुनने के बाद बोले कि ये क्या बता रहे हैं भाई, अभी तक तो हमने जो सुना था वो बिल्कुल अलग था, और ये नया ही कुछ बता रहे हैं कि जो हमको पचाने में बहुत कठिन जा रहा है. I am telling you all this because we are going to come across so many concepts in this particular text which are not so easily digestible. That is why, you know, when Swami Vivekananda was very young, he was Narendranath Datta at that time, not Swami Vivekananda, Narendra Datta. And he was a very brilliant student in Presidency College in Calcutta. He had learnt all Eastern and Western philosophy. पौर्वात्य और पाश्चिमात्य तत्व ज्ञान पूरा पढ़ लिया था उन्होंने. And therefore all the philosophies, they were generally talking about God. And so he was aware of the concept of God. But he was thinking that is it only a concept, or actually you can realize God? Is there any person who has actually seen God? And we know that that is how he reached Dakshineshwar, because he was told that Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, he has a dialogue with Kalima, he sees Chaitanya Mahima, he has the experience of God. So he went to him and he started learning with him. But then he did not really believe that Ramakrishna is talking to Kadima. Many times he used to say that perhaps you are a deluded person. मतलब स्वामी विवेकानंद, नरेंद्रनाथ दत्त, वेरी ब्रिलियंट, लेकिन जैसा बहुत बुद्धिवादी आदमी होता है ना, वैसे ही वो थे कि वो मानते नहीं थे किसी भी चीज को। तो रामकृष्ण परमहंस को भी बोलते थे कैसा मैं मानूं कि काली माँ आपको दिखाई दे रही है, हो सकता है आपका आभास हो ये, आभासात्मक हो कि आपको ऐसा लगता हो काली माँ है, इट मे बी सेल्फ हिप्नोटिज्म, हू नोस। At that time, as a solution to this, Ramakrishna Paramahansa, he gave Ashtavakra Gita to Narendra. And he told that today onwards, whenever you come to Dakshineshwar, you are going to read this Ashtavakra Gita for me. क्योंकि उन्होंने पहचाना कि ये जो नरेंद्र है, उसके लिए अष्टावक्र गीता ही काम आ सकती है। बिकॉज एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी ब्रिलियंट बुद्धिवादी मनुष्य, तो ऐसे मनुष्यों के लिए ही ये अष्टावक्र गीता है, ऐसा ध्यान में लेना चाहिए। सो विद दैट लिटिल बिट ऑफ बैकग्राउंड, वी नाउ स्टार्ट विद द ग्रेट टेक्स्ट अष्टावक्र गीता विथ क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम जनक। जनक उवाच। सो नाउ वी आर स्टार्टिंग विद द टेक्स्ट itself. जनक उवाच कथम ज्ञानम अवाप्नोति कथम मुक्तिर्भविष्यति वैराग्यम च कथम प्राप्तम एतत् ब्रूहि मम प्रभो. So this is the, it starts with question from the great sage Janaka. कथम ज्ञानम अवाप्नोति कथम मुक्तिर्भविष्यति वैराग्यम च कथम प्राप्तम ब्रूहि एतत् ब्रूहि मम प्रभो. हे प्रभो, O God. So he is addressing Ashtavakra as Prabhu, as the Lord. Tell me, O Lord, Katham Jnanam Avapnoti, how knowledge is acquired. Katham Muktir Bhavishyati, how one gets liberated. Vairagyam cha Katham Praptam, how one can get totally detached. Kindly elaborate, kindly tell me. So that is the question which is asked by Janaka to Ashtavakra. And Ashtavakra now starts telling the answer. Okay. But this question itself, Katham Jnanam Avapnoti, Jnana kaise paida hota hai? It looks somewhat funny question to an ordinary person. Katham Jnanam Avapnoti? किस प्रकार ज्ञान पैदा होता है? Ordinary person will say, if you want knowledge, you have to go to school, you have to go to college, you have to go to university. ज्ञान प्राप्त करना है तो स्कूल में जाओ, कॉलेज में जाओ, यूनिवर्सिटी में जाओ, एंड देयर आर सो मेनी ग्रेट टीचर्स, यू कैन गो टू देम. देयर आर सो मेनी ग्रेट स्क्रिप्चर्स, रीड द स्क्रिप्चर्स एंड यू विल गेट नॉलेज. व्हाट इज सो ग्रेट अबाउट इट? व्हाई किंग शुड आस्क कथम ज्ञानम अवाप्नोति, ज्ञान किस प्रकार से मिलता है? कोई भी और, and you know that I have told you that Janaka was a very great king. He had learnt all philosophies. Everybody knew about it. जनका ये सभापति होता था. जब धर्म सभा होती है तो उसका सभापति होता था जनक. And he used to, many scholars, they were afraid of Janaka because he will ask very sharp questions. If they make mistakes, he used to catch them. So Janaka was already a learned person, and such a learned king, he is asking कथम ज्ञानम अवाप्नोति, किस प्रकार ज्ञान प्राप्त होता है? Because what he says is this, that O Prabhu, O God, O Lord, I have learned the Vedas, I have learned the Upanishads, I have learned Bhagavad Gita, I have learned philosophy, I can even give lectures on them, I can talk about it. But what they are saying, I am not experiencing. They talk about liberation. I am not liberated. I still feel that my consciousness is confined to my body-mind complex. The Vedas, the Upanishad, they are telling that everything is one. एकम एवा द्वितीय. वेद तो बता रहे हैं कि केवल एक ही है, अनेकता है ही नहीं. But having learned the Upanishads, I am seeing the multiplicity. मैं तो अनेकता देख रहा हूं. तो केवल बुद्धि के स्तर पर मुझे मालूम है कि ये सब कुछ एक है. मैं देख नहीं पा रहा हूं एक है ऐसा. I cannot see. They tell that you are Atman. You are that eternal consciousness within. I don't feel it. On the contrary, what is Anatman, I am considering as Atman. I feel that I am the body, I am the mind, I am the senses. I am not really seeing what they call as Atman, the pure. I am not aware of that. So when Janaka is saying Katham Jnanam Avapnoti, what he means is the Vidya. I want Vidya. And only spiritual knowledge is called as Vidya. All other knowledge, knowledge of chemistry, knowledge of physics, knowledge of science, knowledge of mathematics, even knowledge of philosophy, all is called as avidya. So long as you can't realize it, so long as you can't experience it, it remains as avidya. केवल आत्मविद्या, ब्रह्म विद्या, यही विद्या है, बाकी सब अविद्या ही है. So when Janaka is asking Katham Jnanam Avapnoti, he is asking about that knowledge which liberates. Sa Vidya ya Vimuktaye. What Upanishad is saying is Sa Vidya ya Vimuktaye. Knowledge is that which liberates. If liberation doesn't come out of knowledge, you have no knowledge. You might have by-hearted the Vedas, you might have by-hearted the Bhagavad Gita, you might have by-hearted so many texts. बहुत सारे धार्मिक ग्रंथ मुखस्थ हो गए आपके लिए. उसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि आपको ज्ञान प्राप्त हुआ. और हो सकता है ऐसा कोई मनुष्य हो कि जिसने वेद पढ़े ही ना हो, जिसने भगवत गीता का नाम भी नहीं सुना हो, लेकिन वो आत्मज्ञानी हो, क्योंकि वो मुक्त हो गया. उसमें आत्मा का ज्ञान कर लिया, आत्मबोध उसको हो गया. सो द रियल नॉलेज इज द नॉलेज ऑफ द सेल्फ. सो सा विद्या या विमुक्तये. He is asking about that knowledge. That is why he is saying कथम मुक्तिर भविष्यति. ऐसा कौन सा ज्ञान है जिसके वजह से मुक्ति मिलती थे. सो कथम ज्ञानम अवाप्नोति, कथम मुक्तिर भविष्यति. How do I get liberated actually? And for liberation, I know वैराग्य बहुत जरूरी है. I know from the text that because I am attached to the body, I am attached to the mind, I am attached to the word, I am attached to the concept of me and mine, and that is the hurdle on my path. I know that. मेरा विश्व क्या है? मैं और मेरा. इसी में मेरी चेतना सिकुड़ गई है. मैं और मेरा, मेरा शरीर, मेरा मन, मेरा संसार, मेरा देश, मेरा घर, मैं और मेरा, इसी में पूरी चेतना सिकुड़ गई है. How to get rid of this attachment? वैराग्यम च कथम प्राप्तम. How do I get rid of this attachment to the body mind complex? How I am able to really I have learned about it. I have got that theoretical knowledge. I don't have practical knowledge. So what King Janaka is asking is अनुभूति, अपरोक्ष अनुभूति. बौद्धिक स्तर पर तो वो सब जानता ही था, लेकिन what is the way to actually experience those great things, how to get really liberated? That is the question. So, कथम ज्ञानम अवाप्नोति, कथम मुक्तिर भविष्यति, वैराग्यम च कथम प्राप्तम, एतद् ब्रूहि मम प्रभो. So, O Lord, explain to me how I can get that knowledge which liberates, how can I get liberated, how I can get detached completely. Please explain to me. And then Ashtavakra Uvacha. So here actually Ashtavakra Gita starts through the answer. And the first answer itself which is given is this. Muktim ichhasi chetat vishayan vishavat tyaja क्षमार्जव दयातोषम satyam piyushavat bhaja. The first arrow has been shot. Very sharp arrow has been shot. He says that, do you really want liberation? Very simple. Liberation is very simple. Muktim ichhasi chetat. Chetat. Tat. Tat means my child. Now imagine that 12-year-old boy sitting on the throne is addressing Janaka, who must be 60 years old, with white beard, as Tat, my child. Why? Because अष्टावक्र was ज्ञान वृद्ध, और सब कुछ पढ़ने के बाद भी आध्यात्मिक क्षेत्र में बच्चे जैसा ही था जनक. Even if we learn so many things, we are like children only in the spiritual path. So long as we don't have spiritual experience, we are like children only. That is why he says, O Tat, O my child, Muktim Ichhasi, you want liberation? Simple thing I told, Vishayan Vishavat Tyaja. The first thing, विषयों के विषय से बच जाओ. विषय विष के समान है. All the objects, what is vishaya? Vishaya means object of the senses. Object of the mind and the senses, they are known as विषय. ये सारे जो विषय है, जो तुमको जगत के साथ बांध के रखे हैं, विष के जैसा उसका त्याग करो. Reject all the objects, physical, mental, intellectual objects, as poison. विषयान विषवत त्यज. अभी विष की कभी परीक्षा नहीं ली जाती. Once you know it is a poison, you really don't taste poison. अगर आपको ये बताया ये विष है, तो आप ऐसा नहीं बताते थोड़ा सा टेस्ट लेके मैं देखता हूँ विष कैसा होता है. Actually, that is why the one of the poisons is potassium cyanide. Potassium cyanide. You can't live even for a second if somebody takes a drop of potassium cyanide. So even now they do not know the taste of potassium cyanide, taste on the tongue. It is said, I do not know how far it is true, that one scientist, he was prepared to sacrifice his life to know how potassium cyanide tastes. तो इसलिए उसने ऐसा किया, कागज पेन ले लिया और सोचा कि मैं मरने वाला तो हूं ही, मैं पोटेशियम साइनाइड, यू कांट सर्वाइव इवन ए ड्रॉप, सो आई विल पुट दैट ड्रॉप ऑन माय टंग एंड जस्ट बिफोर आई डाई आई विल जस्ट राइट द टेस्ट ऑफ इट. एंड इट इज सेड दैट व्हेन द ड्रॉप वाज पुट ऑन हिज टंग, he could just write S and died within a fraction of only S. And from S, they do not know whether potassium cyanide is salty or sour or sweet, because all these three words, they begin with S. So poison cannot be tasted. Poison kills you. Vishayan vishavatyaja. Do not say that let me enjoy the world first and then I will reject it. Once you get entangled with the Vishayas, once you start paying attention to the objects, they catch you. You can't get liberated at all. The first problem with liberation is the objects, mental objects, physical objects, objects of the world, they catch you. वो विषय है समझ के उसका त्याग करो, विषयान विषवत त्यज. That is why Bhagavad Gita very beautifully it tells how one gets attached to the objects. ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसा संगस्तेषु उपजायते, संगात संजायते कामः, कामात् क्रोधो विजायते, क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः, सम्मोहात् स्मृति विभ्रमः, स्मृति भ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो, बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. A very beautiful link, psychology par excellence, Bhagavad Gita. So it all begins with paying attention. ध्यायतो विषयान पुंसा, पहले विषय का ध्यान करते हो, पहले देखते हो मॉल में क्या क्या चीज है. जाते समय तो आप बताते हो मुझे कुछ खरीदने है, मेरे पास पैसा नहीं है, खरीदना नहीं है कुछ, मैं खाली देखने के लिए जा रहा हूं. बट व्हेन यू सी इट, immediately catches hold. Oh, I want it, Sangasteshu upajayate. The moment you come in contact, the moment you see the things, experience the thing, the attachment starts already. Sangasteshu upajayate. Sangash sanjayate kama. Then the desire comes that I want it. Kamat krodho vijayate. I want it, but I don't have so much of money to purchase. So I get angry. When I don't get what I want, I get angry. Krodhat bhavati sammoha. Then I get infatuated, I get deluded that somehow or the other I want that money because I want to purchase it. And I don't mind doing something wrong. I don't mind to be corrupt to get that money so that I can get what I want. This is delusion. सम्मोह. मनुष्य सम्मोहित होता है जब उसको ऐसा लगता है कि ये चीज मुझे चाहिए ही, और उसके लिए पैसे चाहिए तो कैसे भी करके पैसे कमाओ. क्रोधात भवति सम्मोहात स्मृति विभ्रमा. पहले तो स्मृति थी कि आई शुड नॉट डू पाप कर्म, आई शुड बी ऑलवेज डूइंग. मेरा कल्चर मुझे सिखाता है, मेरी संस्कृति से मुझे पढ़ाया गया है कि पाप कर्म करना नहीं है. स्मृति विभ्रमा, आई फॉरगेट. ऐसे अरे ये तो पूरा स्क्रिप्चर्स में लिखा हुआ है, पाप पुण्य सही थोड़ा ही होता है, दुनिया में सब भ्रष्टाचार कर रहे हैं, मुझे अभी अपॉर्चुनिटी है. इट इज इंटेलिजेंट वे ऑफ functioning in the world, a little bit of corruption. सम्मोहा स्मृति विभ्रम, स्मृति भ्रंशात बुद्धि नाशो. फिर उसका बुद्धि का नाश हो जाता है. What is right, what is wrong? The intellect actually discriminates between right and wrong, between papa and punya. I forget it. बुद्धि का नाश हो जाता है. बुद्धि नाशात प्रणश्यति. It is almost death of a person when he forgets the intellect. So this is how the link starts. The moment you take cognizance of the objects, the link starts, the attachment starts. So that is what he says. Vishayan Vishavatyaja is a very beautiful phrase. Never even try it. Never say that I will try it first and then reject it. विषयान विषवत्यज, क्षमार्जव, दया स्तोषम सत्यम पीयूषवत भज. And then he's telling about purification of mind. You should be purified, So kshama, arjava, daya, tosha, satyam. So these are the values about which we have talked quite a bit. But forgiveness, you start. First thing is, if you want to purify the mind, forgiveness should be there with you. Even you should be prepared to forgive your enemies. And this is what exactly we can't do. हम तो मन में ये कहते जिंदगी में मैं उसको क्षमा नहीं करूंगा, उसने मुझे अपमानित किया है, जिंदगी भर क्षमा नहीं करूंगा. सो वन ऑफ द बेस्ट प्रैक्टिस, forgiveness is one of the best practices. Start forgiving whatever has hurt you. Forgive the people. you know then arjava saralata, straightforwardness. Do not have the political games. Do not feel when you are talking to somebody, don't think that how useful he is to me, should I be related to him or not. आर्जव यानी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्डनेस, सरलता, स्वभाव की सरलता बहुत कठिन है स्वभाव. देन दया, have compassion even for the creatures, even for the whole nature, even for trees, and of course for human beings. Daya, tosh, santosh, contentment, one of the best things. The desires keep on coming because you are not contented. हमा समाधान नाही. म्हणून ठेविले अनंते तैसेची राहावे, चित्ती असू दावे समाधान. ये संतों की वाणी है कि जो भगवान ने हमको दिया है, जो दिया है भगवान ने, उसका विचार हम नहीं करते हैं. जो नहीं है मेरे पास, उसके लिए मरते रहते हैं. संतोष नहीं है. जब पावे संतोष धन, सब धन धूलि समान. तो कबीर क्या कहते हैं, संतोष नाम का धन अगर आपके पास है, पूरा बाकी धन धूलि समान ही है. कंटेनमेंट. पीयूषवत भज, अगर विष उतारना है तो अमृत पीना होगा. पीयूष यानी अमृत. यह अमृत कौन सा है? ऑल दीज वैल्यूज, क्षमा, आर्जव, दया, तोष, सत्यम, ट्रूथफुलनेस. We have learnt about all these values in as Yaman Yamas in Patanjali Yoga Sutra. So I don't think we have to elaborate much on that. And already the time also I have exceeded, really speaking. So this is Piyusha, this is the Amruta. You start cultivating these positive values of forgiveness, straightforwardness, having compassion, and having truthfulness. If you purify the mind, you will be able to withdraw yourself from the attachments, and then only you will be able to proceed towards liberation. So, well, today we have started with one question of Janaka, and the first answer which has been given by Ashtavakra. We shall be continuing with this next time. So I will chant Santi Mantra, but if you have time, and if you have questions, if you have discussions, if you have observations, please go ahead with that after the chanting. Om Asatoma Sadgamaya Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya Mrutyorma Amrutangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat.